guys, it's me, Gary Lee Stanley, your sales guy. How are you doing today? Today we're going to talk about our favorite subject, which is sales. Okay, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. And also we're going to talk about how to improve ourselves. Our topic for today is, how do you improve yourself? What can you do to improve yourself today to make your life better, to make somebody else's life better, maybe make your family's life better, your significant other's life better? What can we do today to improve our lives? Okay, that's pretty wow. Okay, what's that got to do with selling? Well, it's got a lot to do with selling because, see, if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, a salesperson, if you're a person who is trying to catch an education, trying to be a professional, trying to just make it through every day, what do we got to do to improve ourselves? Well, one of the first things that you might want to consider improving yourself is to think about that. Write down maybe some goals, some ideas, some things that are on your mind that may help put you in a good place, in a good state of mind. You know, I myself, I wake up in the morning, I have my coffee, and I get up, and, sometimes I'll read my Bible, and, I'm not perfect, or I'll listen to some motivational materials. I tell you, there's so much negative stuff out there. It's like, man, I try not to put too much garbage in my brains first thing in the morning because I want my outlook to look good and cheerful. I'm kind of a happy person. Not everybody's a happy person. I wake up generally thanking God, every day when I wake up. And we're talking today about some things that you can do to improve your lives. Well, I talk to God every day. That's every day. And the reason why I do that is because, see, I know life ain't forever. I just had a friend of mine die. He was like in his 50s. I just had a sister of mine. She died in her 30s. I had a brother of mine who died in his 30s. I know so many people today that life's kind of tough. And we got a lot of people these days that are committing suicide because, man, life can be overwhelming. So what can we do to improve ourselves every day, our lives every day? Maybe get up every morning and talk to the God of your understanding. For me, it's Jesus. That's God for me. And I talk to him and I share my feelings and ask for help. Also, I like to do things every day that are generally really good for me. I've lost a lot of weight, and the reason why I lost a lot of weight is because I had a hernia and I wanted to change my life, and I was weighing close to 300 pounds or around that. And I just was not looking that great. And so what do we do to want to change our lives for the better, to help other people and stuff like that, is we start taking care of our health. I started eating right. I started eating quality foods. And I'll tell you, it took a while. It took me a while to stop eating a bunch of garbage. Now, I on occasion will have something that's sweet or something that's, not really good for you or so forth, because I don't want my mind to think that, hey man, you're suffering. I'm not suffering. I've changed my life, and at this point in my life I've got about 40 more pounds to lose. Then I can have my hernia surgery. I lost over 65 so far. Doctor said, Gary, you need to work, you got to lose some more. Us men, we hold our fat in our stomachs, and I've got a hernia in my belly button, so it kind of, I got to do something. So what do we do to improve ourselves every day? Well, one of the things that I did start doing a while back is I started going to the gym quite regularly. For some people, we can overdo anything. We can make something so hard on us that the first couple of weeks or 2 or 3 days, a lot of people, they'll get this inspiration and start going to the gym and start thinking, I'm going to lose this weight, I'm going to change my life, I'm going to do all this and that. Well, what happens is about a couple of weeks later, after they've hurt themselves so much, it's just not as fun, and they've lost their motivation. So you really do have to make a consideration. It's a lifestyle change. It's not necessarily, that you're on a diet. A diet, it indicates an ending. I'm on a lifestyle change. I eat a lot of really good foods. I go to the gym at least 3 days a week. And if I have something that I can lean up against, I try to do push-ups against walls and inclining things like in the bathroom, my desk, for instance. And and another thing that you can do is, there are these different types of desks they have now that raise different levels. So I try to stand up quite a bit during the daytime, and that helps me to be able to, my back, after you sit down for so long, it's like your back starts hurting and stuff. And I'm on that phone calling people all day, talking to people, trying to get them set up for their education. I'm always selling, talking to people, setting appointments over the phone. And I need to be able to get up and down and be able to enjoy my day. What do you do to change your life? Sometimes you got to do things that are a little bit different, okay? And the other thing that I started doing is I started walking. What do you do to improve your life, improve other people's lives? Let them see you doing things that are positive, your children, your family, your significant other. Let them see that, hey man, you're serious about trying to change your life. I actually started walking. At first, it was really tough and rough because it was hurting my feet and my knees because, I was so obese and I was so heavy. And, it really made no sense. At first, I was like, wow, I can't do this. But now I can walk and do videos at the same time. Before, it was like, I was out of breath. So what can we do to change our lives, to help us and to change our lives for the better and help other people? Well, like I said, people see you every day. And see, if you have this inspiration, and I eat salads a lot with, tuna fish, and, I eat a really healthy lunch, and a lot of times people see me, oh, I should start doing that. Well, that's inspiration, again, for someone else. And, and here's another thing that I love to do. I love to motivate people. I love to tell people how important they are. I like to smile a lot. These are still my teeth, guys. I try to take care of them. They ain't perfect, but they're still mine. And I like to take care of them because if you take care of your teeth, they'll take care of you. And I still like to eat steaks, and I just, I'm kind of crazy like that. But when people see you starting to take care of yourself, like I said, I've got some clothes in my closet, and it's so funny. I started working with this company where I really had to dress up. I don't have to dress up, but I try to dress up, and I started putting on all these pants and clothes and stuff, and now they're getting really too big for me, and I've had to dip into my older clothes that I've had for like 5 to 7 years. Sometimes we throw those away and stuff like that, but for some reason God put it on my heart to hold on to them because they were expensive, they were real nice, and now it looks like I have a brand new wardrobe. It's just amazing. Because see, what happens is over time we start gaining weight very easily, and I see it around. I see people sitting around me eating potato chips, eating candy, eating cookies, eating ice cream, cakes, and all this good stuff, and it tastes good and everything, but it's really not. And then they see me eating an orange, they see me, drinking bottles of water. So what can we do to improve ourselves? Your health is probably one of the very first things. In your spiritual life, like I said, we can't accomplish things by ourselves. Some people, they use groups to help them. Some people have to use groups to help them because like-minded people do similar things. And if you have issues with drugs or alcohol, there are great places where you can go, like Narcotics Anonymous and AA, to help you start taking control of your life. I've got some really good friends of mine that, it's really changed their lives. And I'm going to tell you what, for myself, it's an inspiration because, I go to different organizations. I go to church sometimes, and I go to these places because I'm not perfect and I want to live a more healthy or more balanced life. And if you've got issues which are like tissues popping up all the time, sometimes we need to reach outside the box and get somebody else to help us. We need psychological assistance sometimes. You may need to be put on medications. It could be a lot of different things that can be causing you a lot of issues mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially. And another thing for myself, once I started losing all that weight, because I used to be on a lot of medications and stuff, couldn't sleep good, and my I was like very lethargic, tired all the time. My brain wasn't working right. My blood pressure was up, and I had all these problems that had me on all these drugs and medications, and a lot of those medications make you gain weight, okay? And a lot of those medications, what happened once I started losing all the weight, my doctor said, Gary, you don't need to be on nothing. Let's get you off of all this stuff. And I'm very grateful that, hey, like I said, what we can do to change our lives for the better and maybe to help other people. It's to be able, like I said, some people, they'll be on diabetic medications for the rest of their lives, because you can get to a point where, hey man, you could really mess your body up. But I've seen people who've been able to come off of a lot of medications because of them taking better care of their health. Another thing is to start helping other people. Remember, it's not always about you. I've learned that it's about other people now and helping other people, putting a smile on your face. There's an old story. A man was walking across a bridge and he said to himself, I'm going to kill myself today because I feel so depressed. But if just one person will smile at me, at least acknowledge me, I won't do it. Well, wonder if you were the last person that they ran into before they went over that bridge. Would they have jumped? Just saying, guys. And I like to smile. Normally I wear a little smiley face pin to remind me, and in my car and on my desk and everything I have smiley faces, because it reminds me that, hey Gary, you need to smile. You need to try to be happy. And I didn't say every day is a good day. I've got some days that are bad days, and some days I just wish I could have just stayed in the bed, because we all have these hormones inside of us and cycles. We sometimes it can be the food you eat, the things that you drink. And for myself, like I said, today we're just talking about selling yourself on trying to become a better person and be a better person. And one of the things that I really love to do, like I said, is I love to compliment people. You can always find something about somebody and give them a compliment, not something bullcrap compliment, but something that's heartfelt and sincere, and not trying to get anything out of them, but to build people up. We live in a society and a world today where it's so negative, and I want to be one of those people that when you see me, you're so glad that you met me. I want you to see me and say, they must know something I don't. I know Christ, first off, and I'm gonna tell you what, I'm not one of these weird people. I sin every day. Sometimes I have these thoughts, and I see stuff, and I want stuff, and sometimes I can be overzealous and a little bit greedy, and sometimes I can look at ladies the wrong way, and I'm just telling on myself, because I'm just a real person. I'm a salesperson. I'm a real man, and I do things sometimes that I wish I wasn't. But see, when you bring light to those subjects that are negative, those bad things, and you put them out where people can hear it and see it, you might be able to change your life. Now, be very careful who you confide in and share what's going on with you, because not everybody's in it for you. Some people they're haters, and haters, they always hate, and they like to see people hurt and pain, especially because they're probably in pain mentally, physically, spiritually, and I'm just saying financially sometimes. So when you want to change yourself, like I do for sales, I'm always studying, I'm always learning, I'm green and growing. I'm not ripe and rotting like some people who just say, well, I already know everything, I don't need to learn. Well, I go to conferences, I'm always studying, because I sell real estate sometimes, and I sell life insurance, and I get a chance to talk to all different types of people. Plus I get a chance, I work over at a college, and I help people get careers and help them to go back to school and find out who they are. And like I said, guys, you have to be green and growing. If you want to change your life, you have to open up your mind to new ideas and new concepts. You can teach an old dog new tricks. They have a saying, just starve them long enough, and boy, they'll do anything you want them to do. But I don't starve myself. What I do is I enlighten myself on very positive things. I listen to motivational books and materials, and I listen to audio, and I listen to people people who know a lot more about subjects that I don't know. You know, I call people over the phone every day, and I have to learn how to have conversations. There's different types of organizations and scripts and things that you can use to help you. If you're a door-to-door salesman, be around people who aren't manipulators, but people who have this mentality, boom, boom, hey, how are you doing today? I'm with, and have this positive, you know, people around you. Negative people, they will drag you down like a crab pulling you back into the pot, and you'll get cooked in the cooker. Okay, I'm just saying. And today, my name is Gary Lee. I just thought I'd share this video. You know, I try to be a little bit of a motivational speaker. I like to be, you know, a little bit less preacher, but more like, you know, a teacher who can help you with positive and mental things. Because a lot of times we just need somebody who can motivate us, somebody who's just like us. And I'm just like you. I'm no different. I've just had a lot more different experiences, and I like to share my positive experiences. And today my whole goal was sell yourself on helping yourself to be the best you can be, to change your life, to change your family, your children, your significant other, the people in your life that you work with. Change their life for the better. Let them see you change, and I promise you, if it's in a positive way, your whole world will get a whole lot better. Okay? All right.